It's the rotation that I think they might have to reconsider again.
We talked about yesterday about the mentality of some of these squads. Maybe this is what the Indian teams need, Neptune, taking those big fights against the top dogs little by little. And the thing right now, with the way that the leaderboard is set, whenever we get a chance to end up seeing it, you'll see how compact everything is as well. Does have a booyah. Just keep that in mind, because right now the top four teams, all of them do have a booyah. Whenever we reach that 90-point threshold, the way that you'll have to be able to win it is going to be with a booyah.
I must say that this is going rather quick, Lace. I mean, we have 17 points already from AGAL.
Yeah, and look, we're talking. Match and match 4, they did prioritize early eliminations, which did sort of put them into that 4th place position, with only Falcons having one more point than them. So this is what we expect from Fluxo, but it is the consistency that we don't tend to see from them. It's just they get the big games in, and that's how they're maintaining their points.
That is so brave of you to say, because we're standing right behind the supporters right now. But one thing that I can also say is that at least they're doing better than my Indonesian teams, okay?
Yeah.
Because as we all see, EVOS and Arkaryuk are having quite a hard time. They only have 41 and 36 points overall now without any booyah. So I'm just hoping and praying, because like I said before, they are booked and busy on the previous matches. They somehow had the worst positioning of all time. This is just not their day.
Yeah, I do agree, especially in that moment where Ma could have survived by trying his best, but unfortunately, he was just caught off guard. And that has been the same situation even in the regionals in Southeast Asia. So I thought he did manage to pull out of that, because there were some instances where even in a shotgun, he can battle it out. He can duke it out against a 1v1 or 1v2, but that is a different mode, Clash Squad. In Battle Royale, I think they are just going back to their usual ways, and it's not working.
And Neptune, talking about the next map coming up, Nextera. I mean, we usually end up looking at some skills. We end up seeing some crazy stuff. What are you specifically going to be looking at for Nextera?
Oh, this is where the teams will be farming all those eliminations, because despite of this is similar to the size of say Purgatory or Bermuda, we are seeing a lot of compounds in here. Most of the compounds is a hiding spot for those who's trying to survive, as well as the vending machine available. So this is where, in most cases in tournament, we get to see a lot of revives and then a lot of elimination as well.
Now the question is, who's doing the farming and who's getting farmed? Because right now, like I said, I am hoping and praying for our Indian teams, because they do have what it takes. We all seen that happening on the survival stage, but somehow right now they just have to shake off those final jitters, I think, because
it even looked good for SAUL for that one moment. But then what happened?
I don't know. That's exactly
Tell me, girl,
what
what
we should be asking to the players, because they look chill as hell right now, and we need to get them refocused, because Nextera, again, this is not going to be an easy map for anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy map for anyone, especially for those bottom teams. But at this point, the one thing that they do have going for them is that you're at the bottom. You got absolutely nothing to lose. You might as well just send it, and I think that's why we have seen them previously fight against those top dogs as well.
And one thing that we respect right here, based on the numbers, is Buriram United might be going for a comeback, because so far the average they have is 20 points for each the time that they stepped into Nextera, and who's following them would be Arc Youth as well as MIBR Law. So there's a huge potential that 3 regions or 3 countries will be taking that Booyah in this map.
I mean, when we started today, we were talking about Buriram. We were talking about the points that they were able to get, right? During the groups, they were averaging about 19.7 points. So far today, even though they had a great performance in game 1, they've only been 11. So a massive drop-off for that squad, Conchita.
Yes, it is. But then again, if we take a look at the Booyah list, 3 out of the 4 Thailand teams has gotten it. So maybe it's just about time. Then again, Buriram United Esports, they were doing so well at the elimination points up until that time when they got eliminated early. So there's still hope for Buriram United Esports. I am keeping an eye out for them. And Nextera, once again, this is one of Wasana's favorite map, actually. He said it somewhere.
I guess Buriram just don't want that World Series and then to back it up with the EWC 2026 trophy. I guess you guys just don't want it enough. So
They're giving other people a chance to catch up.
that's so humble of them.
When we were talking about the overall, we saw first place there with 70 points with AJL, and then going all the way down to Lion. I think they were somewhere in the 53-point mark. So honestly, one Booyah can make the difference. We already saw what happened after 2 matches earlier on. I can't wait to see what it's going to be looking like after these 2 matches, because if it's anything like what we just saw previously, it's going to be absolute madness. And you know what? I want to see that madness. I know you at home want to see that madness too. Let's send it to Nextera.
Well, madness is exactly what we're going to be getting as we go into this map. AJ warned us that this map could possibly be match point, because of the possibilities of some of these teams popping off. Just now, Neptune already said 3 teams, BRU, MIBR Lost, as well as RQ, have high potentials of going huge on this map. What do you think, Lucifer?
I don't like it, Tash.
Why?
I went on the stage and was like, hey, this is the time that teams are trying to take it away from Southeast Asia. But look at it, as we are back towards our match number 5, 3 teams from Southeast Asia are ready to get to match point. And that just feels like it might just go back. But doesn't matter, the cooperation looks really good. AGL, Twisted Minds and Falcons looking forward to a chance on the game trophy. This is next year, the last game where you know the clear path to, because every game after this is randomized and you don't know where you're heading in the flight.
Yeah, you're basically going in blind in this situation. Again, there is high possibility of hitting that match point, but the question is which team will be able to clinch in that final Booyah to go home with the trophy and the championship title.
Flight path right now cutting the map in half. Nothing much to be worried about for any team. If you want to go up north, you have a chance at Intellect Center. And if you want to go to Deca Square, which is so far in our previous days of the journey, the 3 days was very sought after. And even our last few circles ended up near the Deca Square itself. And right as now, it's only going to be SATL. However, towards Rushtown, we see Falcons and a mix of Loud and Loud. They are the next best in case of Southeast Asia do not find their match point. It is going to be Loud.
Yeah, Loud looks really good. I think in the first match was a bit more quiet from them, but they started to warm up. And I think it's really scary because they are a type of team that is just really patient with how they play. And we saw some gunshots coming through from them as well. So we are going to be seeing this fight happening. But at the same time, I suspect that for the players of Fluxo, they're keeping a close eye on this team. Limit already chunked out so low, even knocked down, but the revivals are quick. But Loud is just happy with his early 2 points.
2 points. The Inoculus used to get to know where more players from Falcons are, so they know Pina is also close by. Not exact coordinates, but Pina, he'll also be snuffed out very soon. He's running out in the open. He doesn't have an idea that there's a player already ahead of his position. And very soon, Falcons, even though they've got the revive, will also lose another player. On the other end, Buriram finally getting back into action, and they're taking down Evos. They were supposed to be the ones down at the 7th spot that they need to rise up the ranks, get back to around 70 points. At least in this game, I don't see a possibility for Buriram to get to match point as comparison to the others.
Sipina, great attempt, and also successfully being able to pick up Trap in his position. Aggressive as hell, could be able to go for his 1v1 against Nyx. Aware, drops down those glue walls, but able to bring Trap back into the game. Valiant dash to bring down the glue walls, moving all around the area. The lack of info keep Fina at bay, but On Fire is here to provide some form of support. But Fluxo in the wings wants to join the fight, but before that could happen, Fina gets another elimination in the bag.
It was stolen. Fluxo, they're the ones who made a close by attempt here. And now surrounded is Fina. He was able to hold his front, but 2v1. That's not going to work out. Electrotherapy as well, working in favor for Fluxo. But Fluxo, they still have a challenge. Loud were the ones who pushed Falcons out, so Loud are still in the close compounds there. For Falcons, they might be safe and sound in the other direction, but Fluxo want to surround them. It seems like Falcons are the ones who reattempt, and Loud are the ones who get away with it. UAV being used, information will be relayed, and Fluxo, they will again reattempt and take down Falcons. On Fire's footsteps will be heard, but Sid will give a call, Bob, on the top to see if anybody exits in the nearby compound, and then they both again in a 2v1 might look forward to a second elimination on Falcons.
Now On Fire is very capable of winning 2v1s, but over on this side of the map here, Ran's in trouble as AGAL completely overwhelmed and swarmed. Great work coming for this team. Positions all noted. No one is truly safe in this area. And now, wants to jump off from this site is looking scary. Attempts coming through here from SAUL. Jack on the other side of the glue wall somehow will go down as AGL so ridiculous with how exactly they take these fights.
SHL needed to win this if they wanted to deny AGAL the match point. And with that not happening and AGAL getting the eliminations, they will now slowly get closer towards match point, and they need only 20. And if they activate match point here, meaning match number 6 is where they just need a booyah and they will close this entire Esports World Cup 2026 for Free Fire.
As Loud just now as well, looking really good at how they played this area. And I have to say, those early fights were really good.
Ones who survived to the very end, they grab as many points as they want. 4 eliminations right now, and right in front is going to be Loud. The team, not from their region, but the challengers as best. They've been showing consistency from the very first game. Got the booyah in the beginning itself. But it's not been a case where they continuously get a lot in terms of eliminations, whereas AGL, they've been better in consistency and just secured a booyah in the previous game. And AGL, all gamers global. What a global title for themselves. They won it in Clash Squad. And now they want a Battle Royale, and Nyx is down. Cypher. Oh no, a counter now coming through. That's in from Loud. The challenge for a 1v1 is only for a knock. No confirmations, but you has been found out, so that's going to be trapped. More falling. Cypher as well. Loud are not taking this easily. They instantly want to challenge. Nice hit coming with the throwable. Cypher is still brought back to life. Chrono being used. Cypher might have patched himself, but BZP with the melter. He's surrounded, gets one. But Cypher
Hide in a corner, forced to just really keep quiet, keep his head down. If he wants to be able, just go for that reset. Regardless, the rest of Twisted Minds not really interested in going in for this hunt, rather prioritizing survivability and positions later. But as for this side of the map here, Fluxo hit toe-to-toe up against the Falcons.
Fluxo, W7M. Their fans have been non-stop on the drums, chanting their names. And now they need to get to that position. Taking down Falcons will give them...
Side, a nice piece of cut across. They've been able to do it. MT7 position noted, but movement is good. Being able to take some chip damage, but not enough to drop him down. Gunsid goes up close and personal, dropping down a member of SAUL. And
making a comeback. So is Buriram. RRQ also needs the points, but them all playing outside the zone means this could be an opportunity for the others who are inside the circle. And taking another opportunity is SHL. Now it's Ryan on a challenge. Noor's down, Jack as well taken down over there. Della, he's the one who made the hit. Games Kings North, and for the time being quickly Della to recover and patch himself. Puts glue walls in the container. And Noor wanting to help his teammates, but he's going to be surrounded and he'll also be knocked.
Completely overwhelmed. Lion doing great with the timing, and they've been very, very opportunistic throughout the entirety of today. And now, in this situation, a little bit more further out of the zone, but they do have the opportunity to get into the area, since the area on the northern side is fairly empty. The only team standing between them is just TAG.
Team Apex Gaming. We just saw what SHL were able to do, but both SHL and Team Apex Gaming are sharing the position on the overall rank.
Sweeping it. Looking really good right now as we look at the entirety of this circle. Majority of it, at least the best positions in my opinion, have been completely taken over here. EVOS on the eastern side, Twisted Minds and Lao sharing the southern side as well. Now I'm just waiting for these two to just duke it out because we all know how bloody it can be.
Binoculars were used, so information's being relayed on either end. Twisted Minds, we spoke about it. AGL might be at the top, a team from Thailand, but Twisted Minds, they were a team that nobody had to bat an eye on. Nobody thought that they're going to be, because AGL's there, Buriram's there, Falcons is there from the region, but Twisted Minds, they're twisting plays, hands and legs to make it happen. SAT will also trying that similar approach. They did battle against Falcons, but now Pina running, getting around the poses to try and see if there's a chance. He runs away from Bunny, but will be spotted. Pina still going for a 1v1, no workout. It's going to be a match 7 end for him. SATL Esports secure their 13th elimination.
This is a different look coming from SAUL. Yes, there are moments of brilliance, but this is the capability of what they're able to do. Riding high on that momentum, being able to take out the Giants. And now they continue on here. Northern side, they have the compound and space. And if you were to look at the zone right now, the southern side is about to get hectic. A majority of teams rotating through. Looking at the areas as well, for AGAL, I would say this is one of their best ones. 10 eliminations, not too far there. As the Falcons and SAUL each are getting completely destroyed in their own compounds and areas.
AGL, two different teams in front of them, Twisted Minds as well as Loud. But Buriram, they have only one. That's going to be RRQ. Get High is out. Problem striking. Dutch confirms. Lance as well. And Vasana trying to bring Buriram back. He will be put to his knees. Dutch will be recovered because Lance is closer. Buriram having a teammate, Jonah, who gets closer. Moshi from afar tried his shot, but none of them worked or connected to RRQ. But this breather was enough. Buriram is back in action, and Buriram also getting help from EVOS. And now EVOS helping them out. RRQ are in trouble. Dutch, can he recover this? Only good for an instant, and instantly he will be shut down. And that's the end for RRQ.
RRQ looked like they had a really great start there. Burbs, this is a situation they really needed. Quiet in the last two games, needing to play catch up despite the great start. As for SAUL, Bunny getting knocked down by Lion, making sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's, and even going for more. EVOS is now pressured since Lion does have a high ground advantage.
All gamers global now making a rush towards Loud. Already a casualty over there. Can they confirm the elimination? No, Loud managed to recover, but the push is still there. And helping out was Twisted Minds, and in an instant, Loud wanted to get out, and all they get out is out of the game into the lobby. Loud Snickers. They were almost consistent, but with only 4 points in this game, nothing much, but more points coming in for Buriram United Esports as Twisted Minds did help out over there to AGL. Now they have their own concerns.
Yeah, they're on top side here. They are safe for the time being. When they found Limit, they knock him down. As for EVOS, wants to wrestle away this space away from Lion, but they're just getting knocked out. Their space just running out. Della waiting in the wings. His team is shepherding the team, the players of EVOS toward him. A beautiful nade takes out Abax. Russia gets knocked out as well. And a quad for Lion. Joker going huge in this particular round. EVOS eliminated.
Joker! Already Lion has 26 eliminations in total, and now they've spotted Twisted Minds. A knock was dealt, and that's the warning coming in from Lions, because they're going to be the beasts of Nextera. Falcons Keroro trying to close the distance between Buriram as well as Twisted Minds, but he only read that there was players on the roof, not inside the compound. And Keroro, if he jumps in, it's going to be trouble, but trouble already for AGL right behind the bus. Rhythm, flash freeze all being used, and Lion are peppering them with bullets, and Twisted Minds are dropping nades after nades to trouble AGL.
Yeah, AGL, terrible position to be in. Not a lot of space either, and they're completely crunched from multiple angles, above or below. They are going to get chunked down here. And Lion, a lot of space to work with, but this circle shift is about to get interesting. Yes, Buriram Bhuram United and Twisted Minds has a little bit more space. Walkout's getting knocked down here, should be able to get picked up. And AGL looking to rally back.
Lion quickly recovered. Thankfully, they did not lose their sniper. AGL, however, Nameless gets hit. But there is a chance. Glue wall and recovery. This is just the back and forth. Now Exposy finds on Joker. Will be a quick recovery, but Exposy, can he find another? Nice monster truck being brought down. Blocking vision for the time being. Joker trying to find an angle. It's not possible for the time being. But Lion, if they pull this off, 27 eliminations already. We were talking about records. They might be getting closer. Aurora was the last time who managed to get closer to it, but they did not close it out. And all Lion are doing is knock after knock after knock. We have to see when do teams manage to not able to rise up. No revives, and finally it seems like AGL have had enough. They make a rush.
They are forced to take this fight as well. AGL, a bad situation turned into a good one. Desperation turned into a win. They have the space right now, looking to overwhelm the players of Bhuram United. And this is huge. Really stop Bhuram United in their tracks. Continue their silent run throughout the last few maps. Bhuram United, they're back out in the open. Lion take full advantage of this. Wasana knocked down. Get high, barely alive. But they're holding on for life. As the AGL members also are in trouble.
Trouble is not stopping. Cypher managed to jump, but he'll still be picked off. That's going to be the Twisted Minds, and AGL are out. Comes down to the last two teams. Lion and Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds are getting closer towards the match point, but Lion have a race to reach. Opening yet to be found. Games King was knocked, but that's not going to be enough. Twisted Minds now rotating, trying to climb up the hill, but Joker at the angle. He puts Jump down, needs a confirmation, and that's when the numbers will change.
And this is really interesting because both these teams, we haven't seen a very healthy fight in a while here. Joker decides to move away here. Both players, both teams looking to practice positioning. They know exactly where the Twisted Minds players are. And Lion wants to try and take away that space. But it's a high climb, playing this angle where Twisted Minds have all the advantage. Diamond with the high ground and even those snipers. It's going to be really hard to really challenge this space.
Riptide Rhythm being used, but he'll not be troubled. On the other end, Diamond will be, because Joker came up close, putting the player on the roof down, and now look at this, Lion closing in, because they know the zone's closing out. Twisted Minds, Della as well close by. They need the confirmation. Twisted Minds have lost the player. Games King finds the bounce. More following through. Dolphins down. One last player. And Lion, they roll. They get the booyah. And they take and break everything on Nextera.
Nextera was said to be a map for other teams, but they decide to go aggressive. They decide to take this fight with gusto, and they are fearless. Advantages upon disadvantages and turned into advantages somehow. This team rally, and this team decides to overwhelm. Don't count them out. And suddenly, everything up in the air. Match point is we're still wondering when exactly that's going to happen.
They crushed Keys yesterday, and today opportunities of match point being crushed. 45 total points. Lion break all the records that anybody thought could have been left as it is by Falcons, which was done. Aurora got closer, but they couldn't. And Lion, they do it. The beasts of Nextera making a comeback in the grand finals. Looking forward to match point. What a play, what a position. Look at this, Joker, unbelievable stuff. He did find it out. How did they make it happen? That is crucial with Della going up close. Let's hear them out.
Crazy were coming from the zone. You could tell how much they wanted it. They were super, super hyped. Like as you mentioned, match point denial coming from this team. And if you were to see their record throughout this entirety of the week, they didn't really get activated up until later. We've seen moments of it, and now records are broken. And most importantly, what the heck was that ending?
What was that indeed? I agree with you. But AGAL, they got 22 points, and now I'm afraid it was 70 points before we started this game, and now that match 5's ended, I think they've made it to match point. The only team that have made it to match point. We'll take a look at it, but let's talk about the key players. We were talking, the highlight was entirely on Games King when we always spoke about Lion. Yes, in his region, when we were seeing their games, it was, yes, him, the MVP, finding eliminations, but when it was necessary, the whole team stepped up, except for his name, everybody else was there. That tells you when Games King could play his own game, and on top of it, Joker as the sniper. Oh my God. He made sure Twisted Minds, if they thought they had a chance, it will be swept, vanquished, and cleared from their minds.
You know what's really interesting as well? We talked about it because Twisted Minds had the prime positioning. They had the compound, they had the high ground, even Diamond on the top side there.
Yeah.
Had all the information he needed. But that one shot coming in from Lion to take down Diamond, and suddenly it just felt like a huge collapse. Suddenly all their defenses fell apart. And that's what I like seeing for Lion. You are being very, very opportunistic to turn the tides. Regardless, we're going to take a breather, and when we come back, let's see what exactly will be going on here in the grand finals.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here. Now, the proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
A lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it.
They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their entire family.
They have defeated their demons! They have crushed the curse!
Everyone, the match point has started. We have two teams activated the champion rush. Lion and AGAL with very impressive points, 89 and 82. That is amazing indeed. I mean, just take a look at that last game. Lion, they totally won our heart over. They had it really hard against Twisted. Twisted had the better position, but they were quick. They were super fast. A booyah, first booyah for Lion today, and they got 33 elimination points in just one game. They were struggling at the beginning, but 33 elimination points is huge, Yunseo. The youth energy is getting fired up right here, and I want to talk about Joker. He is such a nice sniper. Wait, getting himself 11 elimination points is amazing. Very incredible, right? Super love that guy, actually. And of course, if we're talking about the match point, they are now 6 points ahead of AGAL, and that is something that we should look forward into going on the next game. 92 as well, and I think both of them just need one more booyah to become the champion of AWC 26 Free Fire right here. But behind right that, we still have Twisted Minds, 87 points, and Loud, 71. Yeah, pretty that close. Is amazing. And you just saw what happened in the green room. You just saw our reaction because that game, that match was just intense. But now we are surely having high hopes for Lion and hoping the other could catch up to them, because this is what they show exactly at the survival stage. I mean, technically, Lion was also one of the very first team who got the booyah during the group stage, right? So we all know that they do have what it takes to be the champion. Well, this is the first time a LATAM region can rise above and become the champions. What do you think? I think this is going to be huge, and I'm pretty sure that we are in for some more surprises. But now I think it's time for us to go back to the casters. I'm sure they have a lot to say about the upcoming matches. So Yunseo, are you sure that your team can still make it? What's your team again? Oh, no, they did not make it. I'm so sorry. Why are you being like, I still have two teams. I still have Honor 20 EVOS, and I do hope they are going to put everything they have on the land right now and activate those match points.
Oh man, this is getting real hot right now. Two teams already on match point, and two teams are about to bring home trophies for the first time to their own regions.
Cutthroat is the competition. Like our talents down there as well, Pixie and Yunso, they were at each other. But this tells us how this competition is turning out. Records broken in a grand final stage. And that is not from your Southeast Asian teams, not from the Brazil team, from a team who've made it and got their match point activated because of their Booyah with 45 total points. That is Lion. And now they're moving into the next game. A total of 98 is what Lion have secured with 65 eliminations. AGL, for a second I was worried AGL did not get it because looking at how they were taking the points, obviously I think AGL, this was a close call and they'll be happy that they got to match point. Even if Lion managed to secure the Booyah in the next game, AGL will manage to try and defend it. So chances for AGL also there for becoming a champion.
That's right, and this is where things get really hard. Getting the match point is not the hard part. Getting that Booyah, however, is. It's as though you're putting a big, I would say, target on your back, and it's as though you have to have that mental to make it all the way to the end. Playing slow, is that an option? Maybe, but will other teams allow you to do that?
Not sure, as the flight path, as we see a little southern favor just above Santa Catarina and ending at Mammoth. Still teams manage to traverse, but one team traversing into a battle directly is going to be EVOS and MIB a loss. Buriram and Tag once again happening. It seems like whenever it's Kalahari, it's time to start off with battles from the very beginning. And Team Apex Gaming right now at Buriram. Last time they did eliminate Buriram, but this time it seems like Sahil Jat and Vasana as well. 1-1 elimination each, and Wolven also goes out.
Getting eliminated so early, EVOS. What on earth happened over on that side? Meanwhile, over here, TAG, Tag, still surviving, still as a two. Buriram United made a great job of just maintaining this space, making sure that they're able to just bring their team back into the game. Yeah, they lost Osana, but how quick they were to go for that, I would say, that reset. A replay to just see what's going on right now. Look how quick Buriram United just completely overwhelmed, left no space and moment for TAG to completely pick up the pace.
And while that replay happened, MIB a loss. They were the ones who put EVOS out here at Shrines. TAG and Buriram was again drop clash previously. TAG had to go to Santa Catarina. They decided, hey, let's take a hit at Buriram. This time it did not work out. But Buriram, when we talk about that, it seems like they have a challenge very soon. Lion, who just broke the EWC record, are now going towards Stone Ridge. AGL on the other end, they better be wary about it. If they don't read into this, if they're not ready into fights, and if they end up losing players, yes, not a team elimination, I hope. Players still is okay, but they have to be worried as Buriram get hit by Lion, and the battle strikes off. Get High is down. Games King confirms it. Trying to close the distance, Jonah. Can he hold it off? Yes, he does, but Games King is there as a backup. What do you do against these beasts of Free Fire?
Buriram United, in this situation, possibly not only bit more than they can chew, they were also completely tunnel visioned, unaware of the positioning, the layering of how the Lion players have placed themselves. Now we move over to the Falcons, just side by side to the players of TAG. And this is interesting because usually for the Falcons, it's all about going aggressive here. They go do that against Trap, quick to find him, but the Rise of Loud very comfortable on the other end, able to move away.
I think it was just Loud trying to scope out for information, and Trap just got spotted out without knowing that players were behind him. But one more team right behind Falcons is this time Team Apex Gaming, who just made a recovery. But look at Pino shove, oh my god! Shoto instantly put down, and Kenny going to follow up! Falcons They're the ones who are flying and clipping the wings over the side shot. Position compromise. Riptide also used, and he will also be brought down to his knees. Volvin, he did manage to recover the team, but he will not be able to recover even a single elimination against Falcons.
Falcons look really good right now, much more like themselves. They're just moving around the area and the map and just really taking fights against every single team they cross. But definitely, I have to say, Lucifer, this map is definitely a lot more slower than the first few maps today. Everyone's so cautious. No one wants to give any opportunity.
Bound to happen. Two teams have match point. If you mess up, one of those two teams will become champions. Crush your keys, put it in their trophy, and for the entire year will be reigning kings of Free Fire. And you do not want that. That is the reason the teams who are the closest, Twisted Minds as well as Loud, they want a recovery. But Tag, they are not finding any recovery at all today.
It's like a marathon.
Yes,
Recoveries for them.
Revive. Nothing on the elimination front.
Look so, the crowd's so loud for them, giving them that energy, and Diamond will be the first one to get knocked down here quickly. 1 point in the bag here, MT7 does find one of their own, but they are going to be rallied back. Because we do have Twisted Minds here that do still want to play. Jump, knocked out already, 2 eliminations for Fluxo. A first step, too many for it to climb up the ladder. Bit more quiet for the rest of the day since they did manage to get one big game earlier.
Twisted Minds, thankfully they got away. They are 3 points away from match point. If they don't get there in this game, they have to only hope that AGL and Lion, they don't win out. And thankfully, Falcons are trying to deny, but James King says no once again.
He's playing insane right now.
Keroro, his confirmation comes through. And now Lion are quick to check and pounce upon if there are more Falcon players here.
And now for AGAL, also up here, ready for that trophy. But Lost looking to just really shut them down, not able to do so with General Florida getting knocked down here. Rigby tries to at least trade, can't do so. Blocked out by those blue walls. And quick to reposition. First elimination in the bag. But for Made in Brazil loss, you see Yago pressuring Barros, forced to move away. He barely survived that encounter. And now AGAL not able to overcome. So what they're going to do here is they're going to try at least hold on their positions, try to isolate Yago, be aware of where everyone is, but they cannot get any more eliminations.
AGL do not even want that. They just want a buoy up. Even Lion. But Lion are still pouncing upon opponents, taking them down. They have 6 eliminations already. Just did lose out a player. And that's due to the launch pad they took, but that's still okay. However, they have a hit list on them for the next 1 minute. The position to the team who activated the hit list will be pinged, and they have to be wary about it. That is going to be the Falcons. Initially, Lions did take them down, but Falcons, I think, want to fly and swoop down, put their beaks into the Falcons, and take that beast away.
It's going to be really fun how it's going to go. Lion, you know, I would have surprised. I thought they would have changed up the way they play coming into this particular game. But for them, they're saying, no, let's just play our game. Let's continue our momentum and how we move. In this situation here, we just talked about Lion. Squawka's already getting knocked out. Now for Twisted Minds, an idea on exactly how it's going to go. Look at this map here. This area toward the sub. No one really around, so Fluxo, they can become the gatekeepers. They want to know. Twisted Minds knows exactly where MT7 is. Takes a lot of damage already. Will tie by a bit more time. The long-range weapons that MT7 has is lethal in his hands. Exposé is getting shot back in return. And both these teams temporarily on a stalemate. Exposé, the blue wall falls, takes quite a bit of damage, forced to reposition, but able to put another one down. Electrotherapy will give a bit of space. Not for long. Teammate knocked down. The bat is here as well. MT7 going to be completely overwhelmed here. Tries his best to at least steal away a pickoff. Not going to be able to do so. But still, Gio decides to join in on this fight.
There's more from Fluxo. There are chances that Fluxo can take a hit, but it seems like there's been a call made to retreat, to not continue this fight, because if they keep giving eliminations to Twisted Minds, that is them going to be activating match point. And Twisted Minds, their chase doesn't work in their favor. They almost were about to lose 2 players. They did lose 1. But instantly knowing that Fluxo is close by, they decide not to continue that fight with this disadvantage.
Gotta take this slow, you gotta be very, very safe. But at the very least here, for you and the rest of Fluxo, they can be the ones to keep Twisted Minds out of the zone. But if you take too long, the Lions are going to go on a hunt. And Lion is now here. Their strategy of going completely aggressive, taking fights left, right, and center has been going very, very well for them.
Twisted Minds, only 1 elimination, meaning they will jump to 88. They need more players to be at least eliminated. 10 in the lobby. If a team gets eliminated, they bring it down to around 8. They'll start getting placement points and they might make those 3 points. But this is how pressure works, especially in the finals. You know, with match point under threat, if you don't activate it, somebody else activates it, and then the booyah to follow is the game being closed for Free Fire. And that is why Twisted Minds are also along the same line of how we are seeing AGL trying to play safe and secure some of those eliminations, those points.
The position coming in from Lion, instead of just going in for this fight, decides to prioritize positioning, and it's good. They got a compound, and most importantly, a bit more advantage to the players of Twisted Minds and even Fluxo. To see Buram United still out there in the open. We thought the last map would be a change in pace for this particular team since it's very, very quiet, but we haven't seen more from them on this map either.
But Twisted Minds, they're also unable to see a lot. It seems like they're just back and forth in the play zone. They're playing outside the edges itself. Anytime they try to get closer, Fluxo once shut them down, and the other time they had a clash, somehow surviving. Good use of the electrotherapy is all I can say at this point, because they're trying to survive that play zone and nothing else, because they want to make it to the end. They're trying to bank on those placement points we were talking about. RRQ on the other end at the 9th spot, 46 points. We just broke a record. 45 total points. Why not them trying their hand at it? Because we know RRQ have that potential.
They do.
It's just that they miss out when it's time to close. So RRQ can always stage their very own comeback.
In this situation as well, AGAL, like you mentioned, fairly quiet, but this era to a refinery could be good for them. Going in from these long-range picks, being able to catch people, any team in the midst of rotation.
I'm surprised to see refinery so empty. AGAL,
right?
They're having a ball of a time there. And if that continues, they can see command coach right down. And that is where the circle is.
But the fights are still going on here with They Made in Brazil lost, getting that first pick up here. But General will be the one that's faded out there. But you can't count Yago out, putting in that damage for the Falcons. We're so ready for Rigby's jump shot. Triple elimination for him. Aggressive attack and another step forward to their own match point. With MIBR loss, able to bring one player in the game. You need more if you want to bring the whole team. Not enough coins to be able to do so.
Problems for every team who want to get closer to match point. Loud have only 4 eliminations. Falcons want to make their way, but they need around 27 in total. They have earned 10 of those eliminations. AGL finally making a rotation out of the refinery. We spoke about it. Circle is not there. With the position that they hold, they have a clear front to move around. And that's how they decide to rotate as well. Rather than going directly into the circle, they're moving around it so that they have information. And especially the vertical terrain advantage is what they still want to keep.
AGL just now, they were trying to get advantages earlier, but now the advantage comes close since they do have this huge terrain. Those Lions, Games King will be knocked down, but Della is here to completely obliterate. Shots from above, catching the mid-rotation. Nameless, you gotta do something, you gotta survive. But Della shuts him down. A quadra kill from this player to further their way into the game, and a heartbreak for AGAL.
That was an M249 used like a Gatling gun and gutting AGL out. And Lion, Della destroying the team who had match point, and now it's only Lion in Kalahari. They spotted the next opponent. That's going to be Fluxo. But they don't have to run into it because Flux are already in another fight. That's going to be Buriram. These teams are fighting amongst themselves while Lion are cleaning shop and paving paths.
It's gonna be dangerous right now. Fluxo, crowd loud for them. A lot of energy, a lot of cheers. And Buriram United looking to silence them. A quick reposition coming in from Badzin. Good enough to keep the rest of Buriram United at bay. But the shots coming through from Lion pressures the rest of SAUL. And they're picking up the HP of the players. And they're not able to do a lot. As the members of SAUL drop one by one.
M249 not stopping from Della. Has 4 eliminations, finally Troll puts a stall and then a knock on Della is crucial to put Lion down and SAUL are charging towards them. This is going to be an opening, but Joka tries to slow them down, confirms on Jack as well, bringing it down to a 3v3. Bunny with the ACAT has done the damage. Boltmaker also surrounding Lion. Very cautious on the approach. Nate being cooked, toss, but will not hit the mark. SAUL are right behind the containers, but not in position for Lion to instantly fight.
Yeah, and now Lion running out of space. The same could be said about SAUL. Maybe a temporary respite between teams. Regardless, gonna try and jump forward here as well, but kept at bay. Damage is too much, and throughout all of that, so Falcons RQ gonna juke it out. Falcons taking a lot of heavy damage, and RQ completely collapsed. The Falcons cannot move.
RRQ, they managed to put Falcons down, but the fight is not yet done. MIP Loss who managed to recover General and Yago, but RRQ as the zone's closing, they want to be ahead of it. They want to make a move, and they are. They also need the points. They're at the 8th spot. We spoke about it, 40-pointer, but now it's tough. Players getting knocked. Mahal will be brought back to life, and General instantly put to rest by a bear. And RRQ get their 5th. But Lion, they are the ones that the whole lobby should be worried about. 7 teams still surviving. SAUL at the front of it. And Della makes it inside the circle. Joker using the stealth bites, and look at Yako. He's in the other front. Reply to them. This could be an opening to stall SAUL as well.
Could be really cool. RQ is now out, but for the Lions, they're catching SAUL mid-rotation. SAUL eliminated, and they quickly go toward the next mark. They have looked so close by. They also have Loud as well, but they're taking this bit by bit. Twisted Minds shut up inside of the compound, but Joker is just on a rampage.
Records were just broken, and now records are being made. History being created. Lion have the best advantage. Loud in front of them. Clap helping them out. Big one. M79. 2 of the players from Twisted Mind are down. Nicks up close and personal, and Loud have put Twisted Minds down. Lion a 3v4.
This is insane because Wakos is just finding the angle to Waka. Not able to land those shots. Taking his time, but the Knights have a nice crossfire, and Loud completely surrounded. Cannot really move. These two teams, Loud especially wants to stop Lion from being able to end this tournament. Trap stuck in the corner. Lion playing at a disadvantage with 1 player less. Joker taking his time.
Trap is the one who made it possible. Now Trap has to be the one to put Lion down as well. But Lion, Joker, the man who became the MVP, he has to hold this off. Nice throw, no player being revived. Nick's making a jump. Can he do the damage? 2 of the players from Loud have gotten closer. Doing the damage. Run being done from Della. He right now is not pulling the M249 up because he knows the number disadvantage in Nix. He finds the opening. Loud are stopping this from happening, and Nix and BCP, they stop Lion, stop them, and bring it back to Brazil.
They are not allowing this tournament to end. You are not going home with that trophy. Must be frustrating, must be a heartbreak. You're so close, you're already there. The booyah right at the tips of your fingers.
That could have been history in Esports World Cup 2026 in Paris. There have been a lot of firsts that happen on this stage. And Lion, just by a sliver, missed this chance, but look at Loud. Started it all with the M79, using the launchers, denying everybody from getting closer. Twisted Minds getting shattered within the compound. And then Nix and BZP together for the final hit. and make sure that the game trophy is still standing there and no keys are yet crushed.
I have to say, losing that one player advantage was just too much to deal with.
A little devastation that he probably felt like he was letting his team down just so slightly. And even though that they made it through here, like they just needed to play a little bit more patiently when it was Loud versus Twisted Minds. You know, obviously Twisted Minds got eliminated. Loud had the still 4 of their members up, but if they could have just pushed at this very moment, they would be lifting the trophy.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry guys, I'm sweating. That just goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, it was really difficult, especially with one player missing for side of Lion. It was just really difficult to go and push and charge comparing to the earlier parts when they're full squad. But for Loud,
very smart. I mean, taking out AGAL quite early on the last game. That was the right move to do. They overtook Falcon's world record, and then they did that. That was just very, very smart. But AGAL, we talked about this before. They were very consistent. Keep getting those points. 11 elimination, and then game 6, they only have 1 placement points and 4 elimination. What happened? Lion roared. They were targeted, and they just weren't ready.
Teams hit that match point. The style starts changing.
and that's one thing, though, especially for those who are familiar in Southeast Asia. Like, the moment he hit that match point, all you had to do is grab that booyah.
Yeah.
And
that's it, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that
So easy. No, so simple.
But we've seen a difference in style. We've seen Lion there, despite of being in the same situation as AGL, both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, Lion was just aggressive. AGL was just passive. And the moment that AGL wants to be aggressive, they met against Lion and they got taken out.
Yeah, they just weren't playing their exact same game.
Yep.
You can see Lion is playing exactly how they got to that moment. And AGAL, we saw that they prioritized getting position and zone first. And that's probably not, similar to their game style. So that's where they got caught out. So play the same game, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about Lion, one thing that we really need to appreciate is the fact that even though they lost Gamsking, that means individually they are so ready for this final, and I'm so ready for them to just break another record for real.
I think even with the engagement that we saw against AGL, it looked like AGL was going to catch him by surprise, and Lion said, no. We knew that you were going to be coming behind us, and we were ready to take that fight. And as you were mentioning too, Neptune, the aggressiveness out of this squad is what we wanted to see. Now, when we ended up looking at the overall earlier, there is 4 squads that are currently within that match point that could end up winning everything if they get a booyah in the next match. So let me just recap you on which one it is. It's Lion, obviously, with the performance that they've been having, absolutely nuts. You got Loud Snickers that they were able to just get a booyah as well. AGL and Twisted Minds are those 4 teams that could end up winning it in the next match.
And the interesting story is that on the last global finals, Gamesking had to miss his prom and had to miss his graduation, but they weren't doing so well. Okay, it was quite a sad story if you remember, Neptune. And now they are killing it. Gamesking is having the greatest time of his life. We can just saw it on his face. The calm
Interview there with Lion.
The consistency is there. The patience is there as well.
what happened at the green room. We had that reaction. And yeah, but speaking of Falcons, I mean, they were still quite consistent with the placement because looking back on Game 5, they made it to the top 5, right? So they still have a chance. They just need to take it up a notch. And maybe if the jacket is saying Falcon is here, you know, guys, you gotta back it up. You gotta back it up with the elimination points as well. So that don't just be there, but like be there with all the elimination points, all that we needed.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, because we've just added 2 of the teams already in match point, so it might be difficult for Team Falcons to really reach that because they haven't reached it. They haven't taken that just yet. 13 points for them to be able to reach that 90-point match, that 90 match point. And what they need to do right now is to make sure that either they take down those in the top, or they wish the others take it down.
It's going to be a surprise to see what's going to be happening here in this match. It could end. We could end up with the champion, AJ, Husky. Actually, Husky, you were able to bless a team yesterday. Are you going to be blessing anybody in this next match?
Well, if I have a team to bless, I think I'm blessing AGL and Lion because it's been a long time coming. 2 different converging storylines. And for me, I want Dew to finally lift a Battle Royale trophy.
For me, it'll just be fun to see the Lions pick up a trophy because so far it's all about the Animal Kingdom here at the Esports World Cup. You had the Falcons, the birds in the sky, and then you had the White Tigers from Indonesia. And now you might as well just throw the Lions in there as well, right? But like you said, I do also think that AGL deserves it. They are a team, and it's been a long time coming for them already. In the recent times, they've been dominating Clash Squad. They are your Global Finals Clash Squad champions, and they have not lifted a Battle Royale trophy for themselves just yet. What better way than to go back-to-back from Clash Squad at the Global Finals and then the Battle Royale at the Esports World Cup 26.
And it's been a story of 4 years, maybe more than that, especially for the star player, the Angel of Death, who is Dew. Back in 2022, when we were in Bangkok, Thailand for the Global Finals, they were 1 game away, they were 1 booyah away from lifting that trophy. And it was ruined by Magic Squad from Brazil. It was ruined by Buriram United Esports, where Moshi hit a highlight reel. And Nigma Galaxy was the organization that Dew was with. He was placed in top 4. Now he has a chance again to make things right after 4 years.
4 teams can close this off. You've got Leon from the one and only LATAM squad. They're the only representatives here for the region. You've got the Brazilians in here as well through Loud. And 2 teams from Thailand, AGL as well as Twisted Mind.
This is going to be pretty close because we saw even on the previous map on Kalahari, which I predicted to be the case, they can be the game maker. Unfortunately, AGL and Lion, despite playing their best, we saw them take slow rotations, making very good decisions based on the circle. It was Loud that prevailed with their members advantage. We heard it earlier on from Joker that there was just a bit of miscommunication because they were at a man disadvantage, 3v4, and that is enough for Loud to now join the ranks of a team that can win it. Back for Brazil, and you know who's going to be proudest if Loud actually wins? The Corinthians.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Now Loud, they are the only ones here on the Grand Finals battlefield that have got 2 booyahs to their name, but can they go back-to-back? We just played Kalahari, now we're about to hop on into Solara. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is game number 7. Does it end here? 4 squads have the chance to do it. Many others have an opportunity to play spoilers.
This could be where the trophy gets lifted. Lion sitting at top 124 points, but once you cross the 90-point threshold, the point starts mattering as much as the booyah. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And if Lion lets this slip away, the most they get is 2nd placement. And what better map to have it being decided than Solara?
Very interesting drop here for Buriram. They were going towards the hub and then they used their binoculars to scan out the plays here. EVOS as well as Team Apex Gaming scanned out by Buriram, and now the Giants from Thailand want to go out hunting, sending Jonah up front first. Studio is about to be lit up. Yet another binocular used. Potentially, it is a scan and a counter scan from both Tag as well as EVOS. Things are about to get messy at the studio.
I wonder if BRU is going to try and go on the hunt.
I mean, they need to
show a bit of that desperation, right? Which much needed. I mean, Tag has already lost 2 of their members. I believe it's EVOS that claimed the first 3 points, which the Indonesia squad so far haven't been showing up. In fact, both the Indonesian squad were top 3 last year, and right now they're not even at the threshold of 90 points. But this STC replay at least gives us a good insight of how EVOS were able to get off on a good foot.
Unfortunately, it's just the mini Uzis in the hands of the players there from the side of tag, as you saw. And EVOS having an advantage with the weapons that they were able to initially collect, probably because they hit the ground first. And 2 crucial points for them. Tag, on the other hand, with those revives, KD God will find Bobs as Team Apex Gaming tries to rotate out of the compound. Going to be bumping into Fluxo, but KD God, split up from the rest of his team members, could not take more than 1 life.
3 teams have a chance to reach the threshold if we don't end here. Fluxo, Buriram United, and to a degree Falcons. Obviously Falcons are the closest if they do make that run, which we have seen miracles before. There are some good storylines. BRU now up against EVOS.
As expected, they are on the hunt. They are on the prowl. But will they be able to take the Predators, the White Tigers of Indonesia, out of the race here? They have called out for the lightning zone, which means it's going to be tough for EVOS to run away. If they get hit by one of those lightning bolts, you know they're going to get marked by that Moko as well. AimGod, Apex, trying to boost themselves away out of the compound on the slide rails. Jonah, AC-80 in hand. And those glue walls just keeping the boys safe for the time being. And RRQ on the opposite side in a little bit of a pickle as EVOS out of the pen into the fire. The Lions catch hold of the Tigers.
And Marco is actually starting off well. There's 2 of them down already with the help of Games King. Unfortunate circumstances for EVOS, but great for Lion. Good time to also point out this Hokos. This is his first year in competitive Free Fire. He joined the team back in February, and here he is now at the Cups of Glory with the 3 other veterans who were in the global finals last year. They finished 10th with Movistar R7.
The kind of miracle that SHUL was expected to achieve here on the grand final stage being achieved by Yakots. Gotta appreciate it, man. I mean, Games King, we saw that he was willing to let go of his opportunity to graduate with the rest of his buddies, but he represented the nation on our global final stage. Couldn't really walk away with the best, but he has another opportunity here on the world stage. Falcons is bumping into small points on the way in towards that next zone. Loud, on the other hand, not having fun just yet as they were forced to play a little bit of a reset. SHUL, speaking of them, AGAL bumps into them and they clean up house. Stroll's gonna get tagged up here. Moko sees him. Riptide Rhythm breaks down his defenses, and the follow-up from Dew off of the Car 98 makes the job too easy for AGAL. Get away.
They're completely taking over Casa Vista. So Jack on the run. Completely taking over Casa Vista. So Jack on the run. Hutchison finding AimGod on the wayside. So the Lau is probably going to be slowing down for now, and BRU doing the complete opposite. Shoto tries to book it out of there, so the captain will hold the fort as he lets the ship keep on sailing.
On the survival stage, the opponents there were easy picking for SHUL as well as Total 8 Team Apex Gaming. But in a lobby full of monsters, India is struggling. But I say valiant effort, man. Almost nobody expected them to get into the grand final. So it is a big win for these 2 teams. Big win for the nation as a whole. I mean, India's making their way back onto global stage after many, many years. And such an achievement is definitely a miracle. But how far can they go? Can they now start playing spoilers? Can they keep the competition alive long enough to activate match point for themselves? I mean, that would be a miracle if we ever saw one.
We have uncapped games, so there is always that possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do look forward to if we ever get to stretch this out. So far, it seems like the dominant teams are still alive and are still kicking it.
Oh, yeah.
Another sharp one on the Moshi, who has not been fighting much in this grand finals.
Lion has now bumped into EVOS, bumped into Buriram, but of course not the full squad of Buriram. They were able to sneak away via Super Sniper. Now Cluster will not find On Fire. Great glue ball, and he pops the Painted Refuge as well, keeping themselves safe from those grenades. But it's a 3-way battle. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses down in the middle. RRQ now have to be careful. They're about to be backstabbed. Falcons do have a little bit of leeway here. Ran to the AC-80. Has to make sure he doesn't get caught out here by the players on the side of Loud. And Falcons using this opportunity to quickly back away. But the angles will get them caught out. Limit just hiding away as RRQ loses their numbers.
Not really the rotation that Falcons wanted to make, but thankfully they didn't have too much casualty, and Lau recovers from that exchange. Twisted Minds hearing all of this go down, so Lau is not out of danger just yet.
Lightning Zone called out. Some survival play from the squad, or could it be Twisted Minds who are coming in for the attack as well? Signaling blood out there, and they want to reap the benefits of the efforts from these two squads. SHUL on the way in. And this is going to be a very messy fight right outside of Riders Club. Team Apex Gaming could also join the fight here. Who wants this most? I mean, it is a battle royale at its finest with that Lightning Zone out there, but everybody slowly inching closer and closer towards the next circle. Lion versus Buriram. This is round 2. Let's see what happens.
Lion wins this. They free themselves up on the western side, and it will be just like the same situation as Kalahari earlier on, where Lion takes the west side of the map and AJL takes the eastern side, and they both meet in the middle. But with EVOS out, now this could be BRU's chance to find some redemption. Ames King's gonna disengage with Wasana, chases him down, and confirms that elimination. BRU springing to life, looking for Della.
Just putting on play spoilers here, stopping the Lion squad right here, right now. Della, sliver of health left on him. Wasana already used up the Valiant Dash earlier, just with the slide rail, trying to get into position. Will drop down to the lower ground. M1014 will be no match for the M590. Wasana takes another player out from the side of Lion. Joker with the stealth fights managed to get away from that situation. But what is this? Buriram with a player out in the open. If the stealth fight runs out of time, Moshi!
Oh my goodness.
Shoots him right in the knee, takes him out. One final survivor for Lion.
Moshi was so ready to intercept that rotation. He wasn't even in the early exchange. He was just getting high on Wasana. And Moshi already went on an adventure anticipating that rotation, but thankfully the young kid of Lion brings the rest of his seniors back, and they get another shot at this. AJL now facing up against Falcons to deny a potential 90 point, but they will trade for now. Pina bar has been sublime, but Pina will get taken out by Dew, and AJL keeps on.
In the hands of Dew. Great advantage taken with a weapon in hand. In fact, he's got the AWM as well if he wants to pack a super punch of those snipes. 5 eliminations strong here for AJL. Already activated match point. They want this booyah. It's all about the booyah here. At the start of the day, no booyah, no problem. Right now, no booyah, very big problem for these 4 squads.
And I did mention earlier on that Falcons is one of the teams that have a chance to reach 90 points. And if in a universe that they win the trophy, they will not only be a 2-time champion, but we will have an actual 2-time champion, and that would be on fire. And how cool is that?
Oh yeah, man.
He was there back with Peter, with Koskill, with one more back in Riyadh 2024, when they set the world record that was just broken by Lion.
Is that the only highlight Lion gets from this grand finals? A record set by them, or they get a double. A record-breaking, record-setting match, and then the championship here at the Esports World Cup 2026. They gather up together with the rest of the team members inside the circle. They are safe. AJL on the other hand, Dew hopping out of the vehicle. Very smart play. That definitely saves their lives. But they'll have to use up a lot of these utilities, a lot of those glue walls to route their way in closer towards Twisted Minds.
This is going to be a hard one.
Oh, beautiful.
But if they survive, it's going to be good. The retirement is not good enough. Exposing needed to hit that. It's also a good time to draw a parallel between EVOS and Lion. Last year, at the Cup of Victory, it was Rasha, the Wonder Kid, the newcomer that kept the team alive.
Yeah.
Now it was Rocco that did it.
And remember, last year, EVOS activated Champion Rush on game number 6, and it took them 4 games to find finisher. Will we see a similar situation here for the LATAM squad as well? Do they struggle? Do they get held back? Or do they find that final circle and rip this one away? Games King finding Rasia. The super sniper of EVOS, the Wonder Kid out.
looking for that revive off of the rest of his team members. Twisted Minds keeping AGAL a little bit entertained, but I have to say again, amazing rotation by AGAL to avoid disaster there as Twisted Minds had the compound, had the circle, and were trying to gatekeep them.
Yeah, but AGL will still be put under pressure because there's an open ground.
Yeah.
Really nothing much to keep them safe unless for some reason Loud decides that they want a piece of that. We might see a reunion between Lion and BRU2. In fact, BRU brushes past Lion. Binocular scan on the southern side.
If Buriram gets to that final circle, walks away with Booyah, they'll definitely activate the match point for themselves as well. And no better way to stop the other teams than to walk away with the Booyah on your own and make sure they do not end the game. Wow. As AGAL hits the triple. Lion finding Falcons out there as well. Unfortunately, Twisted Minds looking to gatekeep AGAL, and that just did not go their way at all. Do you look at this? The guy's tanking the damage from the circle. Thiago from the opposite end. Kar98 takes the pass out. Only one final survivor here for Twisted Minds.
They should know that there's a separate team ahead because he saw the feed as well.
Oh,
Jump getting tagged by Saifa, and that's his fourth. This should be the end of Twisted Minds.
Oh,
but here comes the Mabialos with the launch pad.
It's a revive player dropping outside the circle here, looking for yet another revive on the squad. Lion, shot from afar.
This is good.
Joker, BSK, can you end them right here, right now? Buriram trying to take out the ones who activated the Champ Rush so early on. Games King, a sliver of health left on him. Exposi brings back the back. Buriram, Captain Jonah, nowhere to run, and the rest of them rushing in from the left-hand side. This should be the end for the captain, and Buriram is out.
And they free themselves up completely, and even better, gain possession of the circle. Dinocular scan out the remnants of AGAL. It's the same as the last game where both Lion and AGAL destined to meet in the middle for a chance and a trophy.
4 teams on that match point, still alive and kicking. The competition could end on this game.
Unbelievable.
There are 4 others who can prevent them. Your reigning defending world champions from the EWC still alive and kicking, although they have not really looked super aggressive at all. Push is in, what a double nade, and the site as well to annihilate SAQL Esports.
AGL down one man without Saifa, who has been tearing up a storm so far. Can they overcome Laudia? Seems like Juice says, hell yeah, he can.
Shots from the far.
In the meantime, Lau has the full team alive, and look at where Lion is. They're fighting with the White Tigers. If Lion overcomes Evos right now, this might be it, and they have just done it. In the top 6, Lion, incredibly healthy. They're right smack in the middle as Twisted Minds burns.
Twisted Minds out of the equation already. AGAL, only 2 more survivors. Team Apex Gaming waking up in what could potentially be the final game here.
Only TAG can stop the trophy lift.
Oh, man. India, can you do it? Can you help the rest of the squads? Can you keep these games going? AGL with the pressure. Baros cooking up the grenade already. The shot from Lion, Games King. It will end here, Husky.
We're guaranteed a champion. It might not be AGL though. The dream might be cut short again, just like last year in Riyadh. But for the Tom, it could be their first. And for Brazil, for Loud, it could also be their first.
What is going to happen here? Baros due, M60 in hand. Lion, after the record-breaking run. Like we said, Games King, no graduation, but I guess he graduates today. It's one of the legends of Free Fire.
What a good spot. They can flank Loud right now. If they flank Loud and they take Loud out, this could put them in that same exact championship situation again. And now they're under heavy pressure. But Gama's King is not stopping. This might be a chance, and they find it. Lau completely trapped.
Brazil, no chance. It's now AGL in a 2v4. Looking impossible. Gama's King fights Barros, and they won't do it. Gama's King, Valindash used up already. Deal with one final shot of the AWM. But Joseph goes in personal. Victoria secures it. And Lion is the domination of the Animal Kingdom here at the Esports World Cup 3 years in a row.
You have done it! You have done it, Latin America! Last year, in Jakarta, you fell short. But this means more than everything. You have the keys to the product. You have ascended the throne. And no one, absolutely no one, would ever doubt you again. Because you monster. You saw what Russia did last year. And you did the exact same thing. Your first year, February until now, 5 months in, you're a champion in Paris.
Garena Free Fire is where dreams are made possible. Times that by 1,000,000 when it's the Esports World Cup.
This is a graduation the Gaming has been looking forward to. The true graduation, the apex of competitive Free Fire, the pinnacle of Mount Everest in the competitive circuit. They qualified first over Gun Dynasty. Yesterday, they gave us a performance that was jaw-dropping. We thought they might not make it, and they did. They finished first. They crushed the keys of the bottom two. They came in today, they set a world record with 45 points in a single round. And they finished the job 2 matches later. And they get to pull the lever again, but even better yet, seal their trophy at the totem.
As Movistar R7 at the Global Finals 2025, only the 10th spot Husky. They really couldn't go very far at all. Definitely a heartbreaking run. But they did not give up, man. If there was a fight in them, they showed that that fight was alive. And not only do they break the record of Falcons, they set a brand new one. And they have brought the whole of Latin America alive in the competition. One of the biggest threats for Brazil, always behind Brazil. But now they are in front. And speaking of in front, let's throw it over to Bonnie. We need the interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Hear the Lions roar right here at the Esports World Cup 2026. You can see how much it means to these players. An incredible showing. Oh my God, what an amazing final. Try to put into words how you're feeling right now.
Trato de poner en palabras cómo te sientes ahora.
No escucho nada.
¿Cómo te sientes ahora?
Nada, la verdad, contento, no sé, creo que como tal, sinceramente en mi mente no estoy dimensionando mucho de lo que, no sé, la verdad, si es como, tengo felicidad, pero no, solo eso, feliz, no siento nada más. Y eso.
I'm happy, I guess. I don't know, I'm not really dimensioning what's happening right now, so I guess I'm just happy. Yeah, I'm happy.
Doing it in style like this, clinching the win here at the Esports World Cup.
Me siento muy contento, que no puedo describir estos momentos. Han sido momentos muy difíciles en mi vida, con mi ansiedad. He estado muy mal estos últimos meses, sin contárselo a nadie, solo a mi familia. Y creo que este logro que me representa mucho, ya que prácticamente soy un valiente. Cada viaje es un desafío para mí. Y creo que ganar con mi equipo, mis compañeros, mi familia, me llena el alma, me llena el corazón y esto es Lion, macho. I'm really happy. It's been a couple of months for me dealing with my anxiety. I never really talked to someone besides my family. Every single trip is a struggle for me, and I'm so really happy to be champions with my team. And this is Lion.
I love that. An incredible answer. Good job. An incredible answer. Right, we have things to do. Let's go. We're going to go this way over towards the Crusher. Follow me, gentlemen. It is time to cement your legacy here at the Esports World Cup. So follow me round to the back of this Crusher. Here we go. Right, line up here, gentlemen. Line up here. This is the time. Right here, you see in front of you all 11 keys of all of the teams that you have now eliminated from the Esports World Cup. Whoa. However, what we're going to do right now, we're going to open this Crusher by pressing this button. Go for it. Go for it. Okay, it is now open. The teeth are out. We are ready to destroy these keys. Anything you'd like to say to your teams before you crush them?
Lo que quiero decir a los equipos antes que los destruyas. No, o sea que simplemente siento que hoy por otro día, cada uno de los finalistas creo que lo hizo muy bien, hay que dar todo por el todo, haciendo lo que nos gusta y bueno, me duele destruirlo.
I think just today was our day. Every single finalist here is worth it. Today was our day and it hurts me really much to destroy you. Well, an inspiring answer. You love to see it. Okay, here we go. Grab that handle. Gently pull it. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, go. Okay. Did that feel good? Yeah, it did. That felt good. Okay, one more thing to do. You know what's going to feel better? Putting your key inside that trophy. Let's invite the key master onto the stage to present you with the Lions key for the EWC trophy. Come over here. Here you go. There is your key. Please take it. Gentlemen, what I'm going to get you to do is walk all the way to the trophy, and I want you to seal the trophy by putting your key in the center and then lift the trophy for everyone at the Esports World Cup to see and cement your legacy.
Ahora van a caminar por el centro, van a poner el triángulo en el trofeo y al ponerlo van a y enseñarles a todos sus campeones.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Free Fire champions at the Esports World Cup, Lion. Here we go. Cement your legacy. Your 2026 champions of Free Fire at the Esports World Cup. Make some noise for Lion! I want to talk to you. to secure a championship here at the Esports World Cup alongside these teammates. What does it mean to you, and what would you like to say to them?
¿Qué se siente haber ganado con tus compañeros de equipo? ¿Qué se siente esta victoria y haber ganado con ellos?
Bueno, primero que nada, agradecerles a todos, obviamente, por hacer el aguante y los que vinieron también a la hinchada.
Y respondiendo a la pregunta, es increíble tener un equipo tan grande como este, jugadores magníficos y poder dirigirlos, guiarlos a la victoria, se me hace un orgullo increíble, se me llena el pecho, el alma se me llena de tener a estos jugadores y gracias por confiar en mí.
First of all, thank you very much to everyone who's been here and has been supporting us, the people who came here to support us. And to answer your question, I'm full. I'm full of this feeling to having these magnificent players, to be able to coach them, to lead them, to be with them through their journey. And I'm just extremely happy and extremely grateful to be able to have these teammates.
Well, we have Esports World Cup, we have the Sony MVP tournament trophy to be giving out. So can I invite Sony MVP of the tournament? It's Games King. Make some noise! I'm going to come over to you, Games King, very quickly. I know I've asked you lots of questions. It's very annoying. I know. What does it mean to you to perform so well at a tournament like the Esports World Cup and to secure the MVP alongside your teammates?
¿Qué se siente haber jugado tan bien que eres el MVP de este torneo?
Nada, o sea, súper contento, yo siempre doy mi 100%. Bueno, no pude dar mi 100% ya que mi ansiedad no me lo deja, pero hoy jugué con el corazón, jugué con el alma y los nerviosismos jamás me van a detener y gracias a mis compañeros que sin ellos este MVP no sería mío.
I'm very happy. I always try to give my 100%. I couldn't give 100% today because of my anxiety. I always throw with it. But thank you very much to all of my teammates because without them, I wouldn't be MVP.
Well, I can't wait to see what you're like at 100% at your next international event. Come on over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get you guys one final time to lift that trophy and to just bask in this incredible event, this incredible moment for you guys as a team. And so, for one final time, ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Free Fire champions at the Esports World Cup, it is Lion!
In Thailand, it wasn't Indonesia, it wasn't any of those other teams that everybody expected to lift that trophy. It came down to one of the biggest surprises that we have seen at Free Fire at EWC 26. None other than Latin America, Lion lifting that trophy and becoming the champions.
Oh yeah, I mean this has been a long time awaited by the region, by the team, by the players themselves, especially from what we've heard, the story of Games King and being the MVP. Definitely this is a true graduation for him.
First trophy for Latin America, record-breaking points. This is truly the day for Lion and of course for Games King for finally getting that MVP.
Lion, it's time for you to go to that totem and place your key.
And here come our champions stepping onto the totem stage, ready to make history. Congratulations once again. Now you must choose 3 teams and recover the destroyed keys. So the first question is very simple. Which key and which team do you want to pick?
Tres trofeos que ahora tienes que seleccionar 3 medallas para destruir. Así que la primera pregunta es ¿cuál de los equipos quieren destruir primero y poner en Trofeo. ¿Qué equipo quiere? El primero, 1.
MBR, Fluxo, and the third one.
¿El otro?
No, pero el primero para Buriram, tercero, Emos.
Okay, so we have our keymaster. We're gonna pick these 3 keys, guys, for you. So I have a little question. Why did you choose these 3 teams?
¿Por qué han escogido esos 3 equipos?
Porque son equipos fuertes, todos son campeones del mundo y haberle ganado, obviamente también se siente bastante. Y es bueno el año pasado.
Because those 3 are world champions, they are really strong teams. We're really happy we won against them, and one of them beat us last year.
So how does it feel for you guys to put your name alongside some of the greatest teams in the history right there in the totem stage?
¿Cómo se siente poner, inmortalizar sus nombres en ese totem con los otros mejores jugadores del mundo? ¿Cómo se siente inmortalizar